Cannot Exist chapbook series with Louis Friedman. He edits Cannot Exist magazine and occasionally finds a moment to send his own poems out into the world. Their most recent and most unlikely appearance was in Wisconsin People and Ideas magazine, and upcoming publications include Poems in Compost. That's not a magazine, it's just his poems are in compost. And the appearance of the chapbook, A Book of Music, due out from Minutes Books in the near future. He will co-organize a series of soon-to-be-scheduled day-long readings of long texts at Avol's bookstore. A few hours after this reading with Mikhail and John, he will be the first Madison performance in years by the Prince Mishkins, the nationally beloved satirical cabaret duo with Rick Burkhardt. Andy has performed for over a decade. And Andy, you want to tell everybody where that's going to occur?
That is at the High Noon Saloon on whatever the address is, East Washington. 701 East Washington at Blount. 7 p.m. $8.
All right. Please welcome Andy Gricevich.
Thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks, John, for inviting me.
Are you going to hide behind that podium?
I never like to. I'm just gonna. I've sworn before that I was not going to use this podium anymore, but so I always end up showing everybody my forehead. I should try to hide as much as possible. I've been practicing all these songs with Rick, so I haven't prepared per se for this reading. I'm going to read a long text I've read exactly once before, and part of a text that I've never read, even silently to myself. This text needs no introduction. I don't know what I would give it if it did. Dear distribution, the impulses are beginning to work. Down in the canyon, nothing but mosquitoes and angles. What if it, so right, couldn't. There's a sundial under the shady tree. There are 2 birds on a white tree. There is nothing I can do about this tree. Now recall the difference ship is Harper's Ferry, a question of intention. Occasionally write habitually to disperse restlessness while listening. The devil is said to have a plane which goes by. She left Reno on a Greyhound. Janet Greyhound. Left, right, phrasing it 2 different kinds. Refrain again at honky-tonk think tank after close digital sweep. Hand gestures to the bridge picture, a question one won't stop asking but could. The statement everyone's vocabulary contains in its own unique personal sentence is stupid, at the end of which my people sing, yeah! Forcep limit is on the radio. Footnote, forcep limit is on the radio. Birds lined up, color of edges, still and on. The Queen's new dress became, footnote, the original fabled steak from the original factual steakhouse. Ugly, expensive, a view of war from afar from a window, a white window, you can be all yours. The caller of edges, the edges of caller 1. Radio personalities, secreted by the mother's agents, seem vibrating stone and air. That's what I would have said. For me. Ear lengths away, a president swats into his account. Tonight, the trees have diverged into potential victims, choices you might call characters. A grove, a good place to forget a diverse community of trinkets. Regulators in the closet, hurry, get out. That's what I was going to say, the heiress quaked hard, then slept. What causes zaps? Zaps are caused by foreign soup migrating into my apartments via the screen. Puppies still do it, and pocket pals. Some unlocatable Easter power tool out among the asses. In ears, sitting in a boiler room with a bowl of mashed potatoes until the inquiry comes with trembling calculation. Not shown. Move around the event until circle cracks loud, rather than felonize the mention. The curse as curve is obvious. Delicate shreds of evidence cure the you part taken from the newspaper under cover of sharpness. I reduced to smarm and shipped to the prison island of social affect. New age jerk persists in semaphore. To the rhythm of extended, of happening. to each alone at one time, far-off geysers. Geysers count as patrols, polarized in threes. There is nothing I can do about this tree. Sun shone once, bred lines in the face of the evidence with a smile like a boat dealer's. I keep seeing names sewn to things. Only other words hold people together, berries in, and keep something good for nothing in that. What? What's in hats? Once over the outside, treaties pop up. Wait, I'm in on this. I want in the picture over all ears. Vent until the seal cracks and escape be, don't pray tell, then sprout hair. Against small heat turns a particle, boundless in its activity, that was a blue disk shining through the grid. Command to remember mistook for suggestive keys on the pavement. Making the first step last is as long as it gets. Simply put, and service meets intelligibility. We've never really had kids before, and for a dumb one, your taxes are remarkably insignificant. But due to the hilt, we get into trouble, the people you lob with blood, dailiness too thick to read into, where the innocent act blossoms into a story. Innocence, brutally large, remains on their say-so property. Any particular person dominates. What do you mean, it? So that's part of something. Believe it or not. This is a long piece called The Ives of March, which is a stupid title. It was written while listening to about 7 different pieces by Charles Ives, and it's in 2 sections.
On March 15th?
It wasn't actually, but you know, I should probably say that it was. But as we bid farewell to March, let us remember Charles Ives. Shade shed for home in a box? That's like tying a 37th kite string to a sandwich you fly with a coupon. It isn't bolted to a thought of sky. But of banking is just a couple miles of new missiles and the whole values reupholstered. And others about, or is going about, fucking an ape, farms wrapped fondly about that chest. The digital yes to yesterday, to people's beaming, stupid fitness clothes, our stupid hour? There's a slight no-toe between your toes. A ring leaves a bell, leaves a ring, drinking urine in a cell. The dark, empty sky forgetting the flash and bolt. One is gone, past. But what showed up to that party was an event you call imitation into one hand, pressed for others. Kingly walls interpose, drying out the towel in the voice dads wash. Idiot, I gut, sister, you pseudo. I'm in you to water, so in. I mean a tireless mystery. Oh, you smother torn off meat shoot. She's a boy in New York, Quanto for to give up a symbol comp. Find me a mirror in no cigar. Unmeet the editor, oh Lois in seminar. No images or text in the form, nor tie ending. What, you coming? Violent sun pulses slowly out from core. Concentric clicks. A sea of pale blue churning mockery bent up to meet sky in near unison. Now there are a lot of them, it doesn't, whatever, it's just on shore. A victim for target. Interlude. Lois chews gap, overhearing a crisp cheer in his Ecuador. Ratio. The thought of pressure. Struggles of teeth. Listens in with a stethoscope, filtered by traces. Needless skies of the deep personalized father only when limits of beliefs form. The memory stalls size sandwiches in return, spit loud into impelled flatbeds, continuous good everyday reason for anything. For deeds itself requires eating these force gorillas, plodding away at slabs, speeds, the image as primitive as swallow vomit at the end of the process. Statistics is a real good racket. Teaching beliefs in the infinite, thought behind fried chicken, soaking up infancy to push them back into a new class. Village is bound up in a chair, a kind of office, swivelly, cheap chair, itself a sour, pure swinging. Every day what is happening doesn't stop sausage. I squat here, 3-tiered cushion, blue of breath brings litigation to form myth of most important cultural eternities. Mean fetishes. That one didn't come. It was that the toilet flushed over such notable testicles, that is, locust source. Slide shows frame sonata in pins, in furs, another animal. There's things he ruins. There's a fountain of mice sucking sarcasm out the gall and voice and class tactics swallow the key garden only when limits gape back. This one I could try again. Exchanges are for a pump. It's healthy to convey yourself as spoiling interference if these pretend wrong publicly. He's got to be kind of turning over a new forklift back to this. Got to grow lawn, to mow lawn, and do kill for that yard, an exclusively American measurement now. This is what's producing the awesomeness you like so much. Rain, forced labor. It seems like it should be coming through a mustache, a bottle full of ruined ruminant, an orange chain seen from inside. It almost is what it's just been. It is the subject of music, moving north, a centimeter, you were source material, in which there's some kind of butter-based caramelized dream treat. You know. You've been told to remember. The teller adds a layer of doubt. Others aren't gone. It's complicated, desire by desire. It's the company caregiver who has to go down the stairs. The mistake is almost another acceleration, Europe's language reel after interminable actuality. Later still it's hawking copters, displaced wind now's water wheel cloud, dance was ferrets, fetters of trust put on the sponsor calendar by the dean. These unnecessary air conditioning units interfere, all blackening each arpeggio. My victory garden strained through a thought or something noose-like, darkness shading. Crow flies through code of intervals on a ballot most civil, reliable sky blue appearance. A throwaway scale from popular culture, lowercase c. I'm like a market in pants. Shall we gather at the sandwich? Warm wing, welcome tent, emphasis of boots, heads stones seen at periods as periods, mine shafts of common calendar, trade in loopholes, a foot for contrast, underground streams getting on the wish list, falling out of cloud, representatives from the company close parentheses. Metal wants to join baton chopping, like they were having fun inside the house, grinding ducks. Click at low level, picking up steam to smear around the recent past with flourish. Flags shattering the neighborhood, ushering ushers in no rush to explode the key for towns gone down a glottal lick to force hook and shift non-knowledge onto shoe-shine robot. Sun condole if you quiet winding come through the north's noise. Fat short chortle of Ganymede's plural war butter seeming to non-excruciate the cant of a Neville. Send, we're going to loft the menial raws. A rare voice obtains itself. Wind milling at Coach Radofsky's heavenward gape. Place not bells. Pets roll swift. He almost quotes them, but coifs. Clouds adrift and scared, building an arch without meaning to. Rye old domestication, temper like a lantern, complete nasty mammaries, when gand matter, yes, that's the lane. Go in it and chop. Drop, and roll. 2. The collected knees of Jan Parker, unthought. He got into the land of the saxophone and never returned, quoted in lenient sea oil. Liner can go more ways to note. Shale, we gather, moves in place. Plates. Past pocket puncture. Spideranto? No. Beet-colored cord, marking that bell and horse shit. With scratchy. Turns out to be a window tore in rock on an oil the eye had nearly met, yet missed the weave. Draw back looks like canvassing encroachment from the sides. Tragedic fork nip in allow back unto chip or wind tie gap. Salamanactory send from through to the Lutanias, which becomes the through. Punctures in waves and fields of wind as one vast slab of air, vertical, then tilting to settle the ground golden ground. Descent as such is a whole language, slipping into fishing, or the light sunk but reflected back from that crag above the town. Contained, a boat skirting the empty perimeters, dumplings, wedding, the whole national past at the edges of empty audience. Core not to develop some syrup folks wash candles with mass gravy where they cost in line. Godgrass listens to shadow gripe. Mendable Max goes out to wrap Fort Kimchi. A lamb at minimum. A Greece announcement can go riding all these years, condemned, content, conducted, and controlled. Rolling Santa phonem well, a little cut crooked can take it over, and spiffy contemporary popsicle. No, not popsicle. Twang time. We'll do a little dance and cant attentions. Mountain gin. Give me this paper bag, and I know it'll wonder where I am. Formerly, almost, a fest season shouts, Montana! I'm not going to bounce lipids and force the roller coaster into the camp, centering a little barn-type growing. Land is just going wishfully along the plank. Ton potential man stern's cold shoulder water is lighter than cans tickle air. Not air. Sees its sparticles, and eye, fart, and hoof, the motive of the festive, exactly representing mourning. The town in the white dress, with small eel flowers seen from a distance uphill track, answers most Mr. Money by shaving dogs. Lane's coin married name and neat on the poise except to haggle, can't have both Lieber and sham because he is a dead veteran. There's the cinch of metal in the caller's song. Scratch the collars on, scratch the power sign, scratch the flower of some. But he gathers to band against the shakiness, the eggs, the mule deer concerto, like trying to organize oats with a magnet. Reveille sets off descents till avalanche marks down the screaming, cantering mendacity of bollocks shitting park masters. Can do fucking car punk Tibetan like the band shafted. God's nebeter around Haganamon into pot I can't rip off. The lip-sucking punt fuckers in parade. Farm Nation laid the fields to fist the fucking aerogram stinks. You can't say that. There's soft hay there, holding flag for silly dad with a wrought bell to smile. Give it fat. Mine cash. Round up a mother church tip. Bubbling ends. This one is the national calendar, spewing march after march. No drums. He's a cape that can't connect. Can't contact the little flute boy whose wrists flop all over with dust. Shattered past his medical condition, now fluttering terror. His is mine. All passed up to 10 minutes ago, told in what was the soul language up to 5 minutes past. I asked the tree to kill its condor. What happened in that 5? Nurse of corn empire can't wind wrong lamentations in tangled fees. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Screams the saleswoman at no one in particular. No matter how much it looks like a fanfare, don't bite it. In your silver book, silver cherries fall, almost hanging on the rotten breath of old called muster, softening the line to foundational, here, now, the void stars. 35 miles through tall sunflowers and no key. Pines get it in tips. A cast of hooded nuts parallel squeaking door at the edge of clearing cut mounds around a devastation ago. Goal. Railroad spikes, ties, kinds of breath and condom pep at incredible, terrific wire. Screams over the dozen solar pelts twisted into native head death, maintaining sand crab demonstration of the hoteled concept tomb. Plus change. Contract. Release. Slide shows demonstration of saying it. Match, just barely, not blaring, mocking a garbage hump. Groove gain, normalizes current, melds with champion comeback toll. Early sleet, checking the hydrant for heads, a reflex spool. Numbs shushing toy stripes, more fit than the fiddle, generously released in Lois, frowning on the gas wall. Mech and Tiff, Schuer's map. Rock space. Cut rock space. Get a gander. Ghost goes linking. That's that. Thank you.